Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey everyone, I am Aerica Karriem and I am so excited to be here this morning. If you are just now knowing if this is your first time knowing who I am and just seeing me, my name is Aerica Karriem. I am a relationship coach, a family mediator, an author, and a speaker. And I am so excited to be here this morning. This morning, we're going to be talking about my mom is trying to change, but it's just not good enough. My mom is trying to change, and it's just not good enough. Now, I want to share something with you because us as mothers, some of us, we really try our best. Sometimes our best isn't good enough for you as a child, right? I'm talking to adult women, okay, that have mother daughter issues. That's what we're focusing on. This series is focused on mothers and their adult daughters, right? And so we give what we give, and sometimes we give so much, but it's not what that daughter needed at the time, right? And we can only give what we know how to give. Okay, so I want to make that very, very clear to you. So if you think that there's a perfect mom walking around that has never made any type of mistakes, you have been lied to. Okay, I want to share that right now up front. You have been lied to. I want to make thing another something else very, very clear that I don't want you to have in a relationship with your mom that is a all in or nothing. She better do everything I say, or she don't get none of me. She don't get none of my children because she needs to straighten up and she needs to fly right, right? And so I don't want you to have an all or nothing attitude when it comes to you and your mom's relationship. Now, I will share with you, I'm 100% compassionate about when children are younger and their mothers are unable to give them what they desire or what they need, because sometimes we just don't have it to give, but our daughters so much need it, right? We need that as children. We need that validation. We need that, oh, you look so pretty, that self-esteem booster, right? We need those self-love conversations. We need to have that compassion even when our daughters make mistakes. As daughters, we need to those conversations saying, okay, I did that too. Or um, you know, just shake it off and get back in the game, right? But unfortunately, some of us don't have that. We just don't have those encouraging words or those encouraging mothers. And it's not because all the time our moms are on drugs or they're this or they're that. Sometimes a mom is just trying to make ends meet and trying to work and to take care of her children. And so, not all mothers are bad mothers because they were just like strung out, right? There are some amazing mothers that tried their best, but just didn't give their daughters what they needed at the time. And yes, they did have some flaws. Now, I want to share something with you, and then I'm going to tell you a story. So, if you want to know my background, I have been doing this for years, right? And I'll continue to study and I'll continue to to give trainings and certificates, and it's just so much to know, and you're not going to get it in one or two videos. And that's why I always invite you to 2 days with me to a mother-daughter boot camp. But I want to share with you, I have been, I've read ton of books, I've done ton of classes, and I've got certificates, and I've been to workshops. And now I give the classes, I give the workshops, because mothers and daughters are really, really dear to me, because I have four of them myself. And I do know that if you just don't take care of the things that you are disagreeing about, or you're at odds about, or so defensive, or you need to I've been there before, right, with my mom, feeling like I need to be so defensive, so angry, something she wasn't understanding. And I want to share with you one of those stories, okay? But I want to tell you that um if you are looking for an apology from your mom, you may not ever get it. You may not ever get it. But I don't want you to be a all or nothing type relationship, because there could be, and I'm going to give you my example. My example is, I have 7 children. 7 children. Everybody don't experience the same things, right? My oldest ones, they got a little rougher. The middle ones, one of my sons, my oldest son, is like, what is everybody so complaining about? Then my little ones is like, my oldest ones is saying to my little ones, oh, mom and dad would have killed us if we did that, right? So everybody have different um experiences, and so not to lessen or belittle your experience, I just don't want you to be it live in a either or. Either she does this or we're done, right? Either she says this or we are finished. It's a done deal. And I don't want you to live like that, because that's not the way to go. So there's two things I want to share with you on this broadcast, which is so super important. And I don't want to, I don't ever promote um discontinuing or divorcing your mom, right? I don't promote that. But I had to do that before. And I'll tell you why. So the first thing I want to say is this. There's certain things that is a deal breaker. Okay. So I don't want you to have an all or none attitude. I want you to be like, you know what? This, and this is the deal breaker. Everything else I can come to grips with. We can work on slowly but surely, right? But one of the deal breakers could be name calling, right? That like should not be in your life. And I can't tell you what your deal breaker is, but it's definitely a deal breaker for me, right? Like, we're two adults. We should never be calling each other out of our names. And I think that that is just unnecessary. And I definitely would not want to have that interaction with my mother, because then my daughters would see it and they would think that that's okay, right? So number one is name calling. Number two would be fighting. You shouldn't be fighting your mom, and she definitely shouldn't be fighting you. Where are we putting our hands on each other for? So that right there would be a deal breaker. The other thing is disrespect. And my mother had horrible boundaries, didn't know boundaries back in the day. Remember, my oldest one is 27. So we've had older issues, but I want to address them, because you could have a boundaries issue, right? Now, the boundaries issue that I had was I became Muslim, or at least learning about it, around age 18. Well, I had my daughters around, my first two daughters, I had them at age 19 and 20. Okay. Well, by that time, I had already stopped eating pork, and I wasn't praying to it, white Jesus, at that time. But I really thought that my mom thought that it was just a trend, a short term trend or a fad, right? That, oh, she'll be through with it and back to her normal, praying to the white Jesus, and pork is okay. But I stood my ground. I was like, no, this is what I want for my life and my children. But she wanted to continue to feed them pork. So, bam, the boundaries was broken. So I had to cut her off until she figured out that this is not right. My mom is not she's a strong, hardcore. So I'm thinking that she thought that this too shall pass. But oh no, it wasn't a this too shall pass. It was this too shall pass when you get your life together, right? When you figure out that I'm not playing with this, and you need to stop with these behaviors because I'm not playing, right? So the reason why I tell you that story is because there are certain deal breakers, not in all or nothing, right? Put your deal breakers up, and then you may be like, okay, well, she's not so bad after all, right? But that was mine. You need to develop yours. What is your deal breaker? The second thing I'm on here to tell you is that stop expecting or asking someone to be something that they're not. So she's not that person. I'll give you an example for that one. So here's an example that I wanted to give you, which is so good. I want you to listen up very clearly on this one. So when I had children, the white picket fence, the lovely grandmother, that wasn't it, right? So the image that I had in my head, the vision that I portrayed was the grandchildren should go over to the grandmother's house anytime. Well, eventually my mom set me straight, as me setting my daughters straight with their children. I'm not that grandmother. Well, I will babysit any and every time you want me to babysit. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. You had those children. I will get my grandbabies when I'm ready to get my grandbabies. We're both adults, right? We're both adults. And you don't run me. How about that? Now, needless to say, my grandbabies are old enough now where they can call and say that they're ready to come over, they want to come over. And sometimes I tell them no, and sometimes I tell them, yeah, I love my grandbabies, love them to life, love them to pieces. And so they can come over whenever they get ready if I'm not busy. But I don't want that all or nothing to be, she has to be that perfect grandmother. You are an adult, you had those children, and you don't get to run your mother if she decides that she's not or don't feel like watching them. Because we have choices in life, right? We have choices in life. And as an adult, I get to have my choice. That's my choice. If I'm going to watch the grandbabies or not. So I wanted to share that with you because I don't want you to say that my mom is trying but she's not doing enough. She's trying. What is enough? That's where the boundaries need to really be honed in on, because you're a grown adult, but you're not about to run your mom. And mothers, your daughters are grown adults, and you can't keep trying to control her life or being so critical every time you talk, or both of you all being so defensive every time you talk, right? So those things, if you are continuously having those problems, then you need to get in the mother-daughter boot camp, our 2-day boot camp, okay? Also, if you are keeping the conversation shallow, short and sweet with each other, because you just have to have surface conversations, because eventually somebody is going to get defensive, right? Somebody is going to feel like that they need to protect themselves. So you keep the conversation. Hey mom, how you doing? Okay, what you do today? Okay, how you feeling? All right, talk to you later. Right? It got to be more than that. So if you're doing that, you need help. Okay? So accept your mom's imperfections, because you're not going to get a perfect mom. And she don't have to dance to your tune and do everything that you want her to do. And the last thing I want to say is this: don't allow or expect her acknowledgments of you or not to make you happy. That means that she got full range, full control over you still. It would be nice, but if something that she just don't ever acknowledge, or an apology that you just may not ever receive because she don't understand it, then guess what? Don't let that be the root of your happiness or your unhappiness. Come on, y'all. We adults. You don't need her validation. It would be lovely to have it, but we're adults. We're adults. So don't allow that to control you, okay? Because you may not ever get it, but she's still your mom, and you only get one mother, all right? So again, if a person is trying, if they are trying, then what you want to do is congratulate her for trying. And you try too. You try as well. It's not just a one-sided thing. You try too. So again, I'm Aerica Karriem. I hope that this helped you. I hope that you understood that as long as a person is trying, sometimes it's not good enough for you, but just give them the benefit of the doubt, as long as it is not hurting you physically or mentally, or she's hurting your children physically or mentally or emotionally, right? And all she's doing is being her, and she loves you. She loves you according to how she knows how to love, right? So, all right, this is Aerica Karriem. Again, we have a mother-daughter boot camp that we have every single month for 2 days. If you would like to join the mother-daughter boot camp, then I'm not selling it to you right now. I just want you to know about it. We're not opening it up. We already are full for this month. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.